Everything is built on that you need a car, you need a house, and that's how you obtain things. If you live in the big city in Norway, you can take the bus, you can take the tram. It's only 2 minutes to walk to the shop. There's kindergartens everywhere and schools everywhere.
Yeah,
So
see, most American cities, even larger cities, don't have public transportation.
I know, and that is kind of crazy when you think how much potential money it could be in it. But the oil companies are like, no, we want to make our money on gas. We will pay you to not start public transport.
It's funny when you hear it out loud.
Yeah, but since I was a little kid, I had a stepfather that couldn't talk Norwegian. So one thing is, I'm comfortable talking English more than the common Norwegian. I play games that makes me often meet Americans. And there's plenty things about America that's interesting. Like, one of the reasons why I like to be on the countryside is obviously people are more down to earth. But people here, wait, there's a guy coming.
Oh, I have my head off. I should.
That's okay. But the biggest thing for me is people here will own what they say. It's like, it's not about who is right. It's more, if I know I'm right, I'm right. That's it. And you Americans are also like that. You stand your ground. When you said something, you own up to it and you don't back out. While living in the capital in Norway, I feel like everybody's just pussies. Everybody's trying to get along. Everybody's like, oh, I don't want to hurt his feeling because I don't want to say what I mean. I've always said what I meant, and I never... and some people will probably take me as a very harsh person and not like me because I just said something.
Wow, the automatic clutch took a second to kick in. The fuck? I really wish that even on controller you could keybind the clutch, but if you don't have a supported wheel and pedal set up, you can't get a clutch.
Okay. I wish you could properly control it because I do a lot of e-brake tapping. Like, that's the clutch kicking. So when I tap the e-brake, it goes into neutral automatically. It will push the RPMs up and then I release. But the problem is you're killing your momentum with the e-brake.
Yeah.
And so, like, I'll give an example here. I can tap the e-brake, now it's in neutral, and then I can go on it. But because I'm tapping the e-brake, it upsets the suspension. So it would be nice if you have a button just simply clutch. That's one thing I don't like about the wheel I bought. My wheel has a clutch, like the pedal has the third pedal, the clutch.
Mm-hmm.
But in the game, it tells me it's being activated. I can see when it's on 20%, 50 and 100. But when I'm trying to drift, it doesn't work. So when I've been trying to learn to drift on wheel, I keep spinning out and I'm trying to clutch, but I keep forgetting it doesn't work. I think what I need is actually the gear shifter, the H pattern thing connected.
What wheel
Oh,
did you get?
probably.
T150. It's old.
Yeah.
Because it works in game, but when I jump on the track, it doesn't work. So I don't know. I think that I need to buy the H pattern gears. And
It's paddle shifters, isn't it?
yeah,
Yeah, I think that might be what it is.
Yeah, I think it's because it's paddle shifter. It always thinks that it needs to be in gear.
Paddle shifters kind of have like that automatic double clutch or whatever.
DCT, maybe.
Yeah.
I find it's fun, you know,
That's my guess.
that, you know, these newer cars, like let's take the M2 for example, the one you were driving earlier.
Mhm.
That car is actually automatic. It's
Yeah.
not a manual car.
No, it's
And-
got paddle shifters. But like you actually see him like go and shift the knob.
Yeah, that's okay. I don't care about the visual part. I just think it's funny that some cars are still automatic, but you're selecting what gear you're. You know, in BMWs, you can put your gearbox in sport mode, and then you could do like a sequential gearbox shifting type. Like you just push down
Yeah.
to go up and push forward to go down.
Yeah. Kind of like how Volkswagens have the Tiptronic.
Yeah, because look at my car now. I'm having the e-brake on, I release it. It starts going. Why? Because it
Yeah.
was automatic.
Well, this game also has there is a way to, like, it's a secret way, they don't tell you, but if you hold down the e-brake for like 5 to 8 seconds, it engages, like, it puts the parking brake on.
You just have to hold it for a second, that's it. Release, hold. Release, hold. It's just a second.
No, mine I feel like I gotta hold it for long. Or I'll just like hold it and I'll hit start and then I'll continue.
Yeah. And by the way, I hope that Norway gets some kind of legal way of doing weed. I don't think for an 18-year-old person it's very smart to smoke weed, and I'm betting on Norway's very restricted rules on this, that it's most likely gonna be 20 years old, or maybe even 25, because we boys, or men, boys actually, they take time to develop their brain. So if it even gets legal, I don't think it's gonna be easy for people. So the only reason why I want to legalize it is because I want the black market gone. I want some form of tax on it, not heavy, but just a little bit tax, so Norway can make some money off the profit, because I think that's the right way. But I don't want 15, 16-year-old kids going and meeting some
Shady mother.
yeah, that like you never know what kind of situations you're gonna end up in. Like, sure, sometimes it's an easy meetup, this and that, but sometimes it's like, oh shit, this happened, you have to do this for me now, or else you won't be able to buy it. Or they'll say like, hey, if you go and stab this person, you can get this much for free. It's like putting people in a bad situation because they only wanted to smoke a little bit. But it's my biggest personal reason, because in the capital in Norway, I could simply take the subway for 5 minutes, go outside the subway. As a 15-year-old kid, I could get my hands on weed super easily. And I always knew there was a high chance of me getting scammed at the location because I was so young, but I didn't care. Either I got scammed or I didn't get scammed. If I didn't get scammed, that's good. If I did get scammed, well, maybe another day.
Oh, all right. I think I'm going to close the lobby. I'm gonna grab me some coffee, actually. That sounds great.
Yeah. I've been drinking coffee for many hours. I drink coffee very slowly, though.
Yeah, I have a. See, when it's hot, I'll drink it slow. But as soon as it starts to cool down, when it's like that lukewarm, it's just like it not so. When it's hot enough to give you that warm feeling going down, but not hot enough to burn the shit out of you, I'll end up chugging it. It's just a problem. Like, it doesn't matter what I'm drinking. I've always had this issue. Like, if I go to a restaurant, if I walk and they have the soda machine, if I walk and go fill up my soda, it's gone, like halfway gone by the time I get to my table.
Wow. The best thing I know in life is waking up, going and turning on the coffee machine, rolling while the coffee is being made,
Oh, yeah.
and then go outside and just take one
know,
hit, and
I'm
then
weird. I like
put the
listening to the
coffee.
coffee
Ready to
makers.
roll.
Like,
Okay.
just like the coffee pot, like type makers, or like just even, I don't know, just it's relaxing.
Yeah. But I
Tea
don't
and
have a
coffee
coffee
are very
machine
relaxing.
now. I miss my old coffee machine. But it got fucked up. It's a little bit funny story as well. The on and off switch was kind of fucked up, and
Uh-huh.
it broke, and so it went more inside of the coffee machine where the electronic is. And I took a fork and I stuck it in there to turn it on. But one day I stuck the fork in there and suddenly the whole place got dark, and I was like,
Oh
okay,
no.
maybe it's time to throw it away.
Oops.
Fucking
Get
shut
ready for
everything
turn
off in the fucking house.
Oh
I was like,
no.
I
Turn
don't
left.
think I'm gonna mess more with the electronic. It's broken.
So,
So
on the
nowadays,
weekly
I do.
challenges or whatever, those 5 races, I completed all of those, and my 6-star gave me a $500,000. That's probably the best gift that I've gotten in so long.
My point of view is it's almost the same over and over. Every single time you get a 6-star, it's always $500,000. Sure, it's nice to get the 6 stars now and then, but it's the same thing over and over and over.
I kind of feel like they should have done like an appreciation type thing. So, for instance, is mine. I have logged in 2 days. I'll be at 800 days logged in.
Nice.
So I honestly, I feel like I shouldn't be getting the same rewards and gifts that I was getting the first 10 days logged in.
Keep right. And
Like
then
the more you log in, like, or you know how some games will do it if you continuously, like, on a day-to-day basis, every day log in at least once, and you keep that going until you break the chain. But you're getting better and better and better and better rewards. And you miss a day, whoop, it restarts. I'd be okay with that.
I would agree slightly. There has to be a
But-
cap somewhere. Like, you know,
There would have to be a cap, because only getting 5 or 6 stars and not getting, like, the smaller stuff, or, like, you know, things,
turn
because I
right.
actually enjoy getting the cars. I don't mind. That either gives me something to build, or I could sell it and get more money than the little pile of change they were gonna give me.
Yeah, I feel the same way. I would rather get a car, and if it's shit, I have the option to sell it, because 500,000, it's like, I can go on Tokyo and make 800 in 25 minutes. So 500 credits is nothing for me.
One thing I will say that I do like about Forza is I like, even though it doesn't work that well, I like the auction
Keep right.
thing. So it's like, say I build a car, or for instance, you could save the style, but not only that, you can save like the whole car. If somebody wants your entire build for your car, or even for your styles and stuff on Gran Turismo, every time somebody uses that or downloads it or whatever, you get in-game currency for it.
Yeah. By the way, I think Gran Turismo would also benefit with having this monthly, not like a season pass. I don't want people to pay season pass for Gran Turismo.
Yeah,
the game should be
that adds
free,
more.
but you can have a DLC that costs money. That's okay, but don't make it necessary. And so, the way you said, like, getting rewards for jumping on every single day, make it like a season thing. Like, the first week, you'll get more 3 and 4 stars, but then the second week, you'll get more 4 and 5 stars. Third week will be more 5 in general, and then the fourth week, the final week, will be a lot bigger chance to get 6 star.
And then it
Or
resets.
not even 6 star, but even invitation, because the invitation system is broken. I think.
I don't know. I feel like the invitations aren't really a gift, because usually it's like, here's an invitation to buy a car you can't afford right now. I'd much rather have something that I could use at the moment.
Ah, okay, then we have totally different.
On GT7, I've had an invitation for a
'Cause-
Ferrari that I won't be able to afford for a hot minute. 'Cause
Yeah,
it's like $3
the
million.
last-
Like,
The
Jesus
last
Christ.
2 invitations that I've gotten were both for the same Bugatti.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's broken. The system is broken. But I don't agree with you guys. Like, when you get an invite and you see that you don't have enough credits for it, it's like, oh, okay, I gotta work to get my reward.
Oh yeah. No. Some of those I do.
Left.
But like, if I've already owned the car, I don't.
Yeah.
Because I've
Like,
owned a lot of the
yeah.
cars, and sold them. Like, if it's not like an actual race car,
Yeah. Like,
or I
when
mean,
you
like,
first
well, most of the race cars I have.
Yeah. When you first start the game and you finish the cafe missions and everything,
Mhm.
you most likely will get an invitation because of all the ticket rewards you're getting. But the issue I have is like you're saying, you get the same invitation over and over.
Mm-hmm.
With this second account,
I think that's the problem I'm having is I'm getting the same invitations that I don't want.
yeah, I hate that. I've almost got every single invitation card on this account, and I'm missing the Ferrari, but I got the Chiara or the Pagani. I've
Yeah.
gotten that 3 times, and it's one single car 3 times.
Never mind.
While
I'll
the
find a new
Ferraris
route.
is 1 invite and you get 3 cars.
Yeah.
And it annoys me. I will rather want the 3 Ferraris than 1 single Pagani. And even if I don't have the credits, I'll be like, okay, I'll buy this one first, and then maybe if I can catch it in time, I'll buy the second one.
That's true.
I've finished the career mode 3 times, so I really understand the ticket system and the invitation system. It's completely luck based. That's one thing.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's semi okay that it's luck based, but the simple fact that on my first account it took a whole year to collect every car because of the invites. Like grinding for 20 million, sure, that takes you more than 20 hours, but the simple fact that you can't obtain a car because you're not lucky enough, that's a little bit BS.
Or when I don't have the money, there's a car in the legendary shop, and when I have the money and I'm like, ooh, I'm gonna get it, and I go in there and it's like, it's gone. They swapped it out.
Yeah. Do you understand the system behind it?
Yeah, no, I know they cycle the cars in and out, and it actually
do you
makes
know
it
how
easier
they do
now.
Do you know how they do it?
No, but I do know here recently, well, more people playing it than there were. A lot of those cars have been sold out. The ones that they're planning that are going to be the ones swapping out, like the next day or the next 2 days, they're going to swap those out with something else. It's generally like 2 or 3 cars.
Yeah.
Like the used car lot, it's like 2 or 3 cars they swap out.
Yeah. You're not far off. I will just add that all the cars that jump in legendary or used are completely random, but there's more legendary cars than used cars, and some of the used cars are already in Brand Central, maybe, which makes the used dealership almost pointless. But
There's some of the cars in the game that I wish were actual cars you could drive. Like some of the cars that you'll see like parked on the side of the racetracks, or like some of the cars in the escape photos. Like there's a Honda Element in one of the Tokyo escape photos.
okay.
It's
But
parked on the side of the expressway. Like certain
Yeah.
cars like that, I wish were in the game too.
I can understand it, but in my view, it's just props.
Yeah.
It's just making the environment look real. But back to the car rotation
Reroute.
system. So it sounds like you already know this, but
Keep left.
when a
And
car
then
pops
continue
in
straight on.
and it says
Go
new.
straight on.
Okay, it was added today.
Mm-hmm.
The next day, it won't say new anymore. And then it will stay for 2-3 days more. And then it will say limited stock.
Yeah, and then I've also
Yes.
noticed the cars that say hot, like they have like a hot thing on it, like ooh, hot sale. If it's not an event currently for like the weekly races, it's gonna be.
Okay, I didn't know that. It
So,
could be
like,
right, but hot for me-
When they added the newest cars,
Go straight on.
they were under new, but it was also had the hot badge on it.
yeah,
And then a
because
couple
it's
days
new.
after that, they reset the weekly races, and that the 80s car, that one was one of the weekly races or the weekly challenges.
Yeah.
That I have noticed. If it says hot in the thing, it's like not
Yeah,
every
but
time,
hot
but sometimes.
To me, it just means they just added the car. That's simply what I'm reading. I'm not reading anything with with the weekly challenges, and like I'm trying to relate to what you said about
Finding
it could
a
be
new
in the
route.
next weekly challenge.
Okay.
Here's
Let's
my
find a new
counter.
Finding a
Last
new route.
week's challenge, you needed to drive
Please,
the new
make a U-turn when
Citroen,
possible.
the B something.
Never mind.
Yeah.
You
I'll find a new
specifically
route.
that. But that was available
Rerouting.
in the used dealership. You could buy it because it was a new car.
Make a U-turn.
This
Yeah,
week.
that's what I was saying. It said new and hot like at the same time on it. Now it just says hot.
Okay.
I don't know why it just says hot though.
Nah. Yeah, but new means they added it today.
Mhm.
Hot means we just had an update, and this is the car you can buy that is new. Hot just means new update.
Oh, is that what they did?
Yeah. Hot it means that it's a new car from the update. But I'm trying to
Well, damn, because they.
go
I
in
thought
your
it-
direction, because you could actually be right about something, because
I thought it did it with the Suzuki Swift or the Jimny. The Jimny race that they had on the last weekly challenge. I could have sworn that it had the hot badge on that in there
okay.
when it was in the used car lot. Maybe that's why I was thinking that's what it was.
Yeah.
Because it's not in here right now, and that's the only one that currently says hot, and it is the only new car in the used car lot. So
Okay. I'm glad they did it the way they did it these last 2 weeks, because the last week's challenge you needed to drive the Citroen, but this week they did not do the Citroen over again. They
oh no, the
decided
back-to-back
to go-
one sucks.
Yeah, I hate that too.
Back-to-back
Um,
weeks of doing the same thing.
Yeah, instead of going the Citroen twice, like they've done with many other cars, they did the Peugeot this week.
Mhm.
But the Peugeot is always
Recomputing.
available, and it only costs, what was it, 50,000, somewhere in that range.
Yeah, something like that.
And so the ticket system and the cash for the race itself will give you that money back. That is worth it.
Yeah.
But it's annoying. I've read some people, I haven't had that issue, but on forums I've seen people wanting to complete the full weekly challenge, but they can't because they don't own the car, or they don't have a car that is competitive enough, and so they're stuck on 4 out of 5 races because they literally can't obtain or finish it.
It is one thing I do love and hate about Gran Turismo is I love the diversity. There's so many like random cars. Like, I don't mind when they add the goofy cars in, but like the CRV, it would have been nice if the CRV wasn't the hybrid. You know what I mean? Like stuff like that. But
Yeah, that Honda. I didn't even think about it. I just, Honda SUV. Okay, I'm never gonna buy it. Never gonna
yeah,
bother.
but if it was the gas one, I would be okay with that. But since it's like the full electric one, it's just, or almost, it might as well be full electric. It's just not. It
Okay.
doesn't have the power and all that. But
Yeah. Can
all
I?
the- you can take, say, the EG Honda Civic. You could take that and
Yeah.
you could build it up, max it out, make it this crazy track car, but there's no actual events for it. So that's
Okay.
where the whole love-hate comes from. Like, I love the fact that they have all these variety of cars and you can take like a nothing car and make it a complete race car. But in the end, there's only a couple races that you could even use that in on the career or like on the solo.
Yeah.
Or like the
I
weekly
understand.
races, or not the weekly races, the daily, the multiplayer races, the time trials. They're always Group 3 and Group 4. It would be cool if they did like a limited PP thing or like a restriction. So like you could use your car, but we're still gonna make it everybody's car the same, and you do the time trial, like Civics only, or you know,
Yeah. Daily
or
races are
say the M
sometimes,
series,
uh,
like stuff like that.
Yeah, daily races are sometimes good with the daily race A in one make. I remember
Yeah.
doing 180 SX.
Turn right.
I was very competitive on that car actually, but when it's like a front wheel drive or 4-wheel drive, I usually don't bother.
Mm-hmm.
But you're right, it's the biggest races are always Group 3 and 4, and sometimes 2 and 1, but the 2 and 1 are not fun to race in against random people.
And one race that I find that's almost impossible if you don't have like a good tune on your car to do it, but they have that race where they want you to have no more than 600 pp, and you're going against like a bunch of like Supras and GTRs and the RX-7s and stuff like that. Like they're all like full-on race cars.
Yeah, you're talking about my favorite race on Tokyo.
Yeah, like I love that one because it's a challenge. It's actually one of the weekly races currently. Well,
mine
one of the in that series. Yeah, but it is there is one on Tokyo. But I like that one because it's a challenge. It's like the lower PP, so you have to have your tune right, because they're either gonna have more power than you and less grip, or you're gonna have more grip, less power.
Yeah, that's my main way of getting money. I always loved it because even though it's harder than the other ones, it's a shorter one if you get a good car. Like I would say, in general, the best car you could use for that track is literally a stock GTR. You do weight reduction 1, get forced hard tires if it doesn't already have it. You customize the car so you have the lip and you have the wing and a diffuser. And since the performance points are in this way, you would max out your rear downforce. That lowers your PP, and the front downforce, take it as low as possible. That would also lower the PP. And whatever performance point you have left to get 600, that's where you buy your performance parts. So I have a 2024 GTR, weight reduction 1, manual gearbox, or it may be stock, I don't remember now, and sport exhaust, and fully customized computer.
And I had this whole theory, and at first I thought it was like, oh, maybe I need to tweak the tune, this and that. I have a couple cars that if I don't run Comfort Sports, I will get absolutely zero smoke from my tires. And as somebody tell me, oh, you're not generating enough heat. Well, that ain't it, because the tire thingy's glowing red hot on the screen. So that's not it. But then again, and I was like, well, maybe it's my power, maybe it's my gearing, and I was trying to work it out, couldn't figure it out. And then
Your car wasn't generating smoke when you were drifting, or it took a while to get it to smoke?
like the only time I could get it to smoke was when I was pulling the e-brake, or if I was
Yeah,
in
'cause
like
e-brake
fifth or
is
sixth
high.
gear.
Yeah, because of wheel speed.
So
I'm not sure how the smoke actually works, but what you're telling me is your car is probably lower on power, and so to
well, that
generate
car had
the
like
power-
700 horsepower, right? Give or
Okay,
take,
that's
somewhere
not-
around there.
Yeah,
that's
it's
not
the
my
difference in
S13.
tire temp ratings between the compounds of the different tires.
Well, with Comfort Hards on both cars, my S13 had 323 horsepower on Comfort Hards, and in second and third gear, instantly starts smoking tires.
Maybe the weight of the car has something to say. Because if you're having more weight on the rear, or it's a heavy car in general, maybe the higher weight gives more friction to the ground, which makes it higher heat.
Yeah. Well, lately, I've been like most of my cars that I've been doing, the first thing I get is a steering angle kit, e-brake. I do the transmission, the suspension. I've been running stock brakes lately because I don't use them that much. Bless you. And also, like, if I'm tandeming and I get too close to somebody, there's times where I'll be on the gas and brake at the same time. And when I have racing brakes on, it'll bring me to a stop. I don't want that. All my cars, I have the brakes mainly to the front anyway.
That's just learning the sensitivity. I love having racing brakes on
Mhm.
because I can stop quickly if I needed to. Like, let's say I'm trying to catch up with someone and then I suddenly catch up too quickly. That's when the racing brakes works for me. But as I said to you earlier, drifting is such a big variety that people do whatever they want to do. The only thing
Japanese style
It-
drifting compared to the American style drifting, it's so much
But
different.
Under that, it's amateur drifting versus pro drifting, wide line,
Yes.
narrow line, speed drift, slow drift. Like you said, you don't need the racing brakes. I use the racing brakes. There's such a big variety that
It's like a Car X, for instance, too. There's people that only use their e-brake. They don't really use their brakes, and there's people that don't use their, like, I don't use my brakes at all, like 100% at all on there. I don't have to. But and then there's people that run long gearing. There's people that run short gearing. There's so many different styles. I 100% agree.
such a big difference between people, and that just makes it a good thing, I think. Because if I would say, if I go back about
Well,
4
drifting's
years,
like dancing.
yeah,
There's so many different styles of dancing,
Keep left.
and it's beautiful. It can be beautiful.
if I go back like about 4 years, I could tandem with people that drifted fast, but as soon as I stayed behind someone that was wheel drifting, I had no chance. Like, the biggest thing I did for myself was probably turn off the ABS so I could lock the front wheels. That was good, but when Gran Turismo 7 came out, I was like, okay, now it's time to focus on the road cars. I'm gonna stop doing like the daily races.
Keep
I
left.
used to be a big fan of daily races on the older, but I decided this game is gonna be about the road cars because they have so many different road cars. Like, I'm gonna learn to tune better when it comes to, like, let's say you want to do a fast lap on Nürburgring. Nordschleife, I mean. So I just based myself on driving road cars on this game, and I think it helped me with the tuning as well, getting it a little bit better, but also like nailed down. And there's a lot of people that drifts on wheels, so I had to learn how to not make my
Keep
car
right,
more grippy, because
and
I
then
felt,
turn right.
okay, giving the car more grip, easy. If I buy a
Turn
car,
right.
engine swap it, and it's still too grippy, like, how can I remove the grip so I can actually stay behind someone? That was a little bit harder in my opinion.
I wheel drifted car X, and I figured out with the way I tune my cars, if I want to tandem with somebody that's drifting slow, all I need to do is knock my horsepower down.
Yeah.
I don't
My
need to change anything
prob-
else. I just need to lower the horsepower and slow the car down.
Okay. I have never tried to tune on Car X. I have no idea what to do in that game.
And
Like
see,
what I
have
used to do is-
GT7, but I have no idea how to tune shit in GT7 because I haven't sat down and tried.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a whole lot of tinkering.
Yeah,
Honestly, after
Go ahead.
after they did the update, it's funny that you were talking about the update earlier, because the with the whole jump drift, the way that you land, it's like bouncier than it used to be.
Yeah.
Like, I've had to make all of my cars stiffer than I ever used to.
Yeah, that's
Because
realistic.
Finding a new
I used to
route.
adjust my settings like near the middle because I felt like they were too low when they started out. Now they start out in the middle, and it's like, well, now I gotta go up.
One thing I will add to what you call them again, 420 or the other guy in this party. Sorry.
Yeah,
Uh,
420
is-
or bed, either one.
Yeah. I will say that probably the difference between
Go
Car
straight
X and Gran Turismo is on Car X, the base setup, like the normal setup that you have on the car from factory, is probably a lot better than what is on Gran
I'll find a
Turismo,
new
because starting off with a brand new sheet on
When
Gran
possible,
Turismo
make a U-turn.
after adding tons of power is horrible.
Okay, let's find
Especially
a
for
new route.
drifting.
Yeah,
Please.
that is true.
make a
You can
U-turn.
just like buy the
When
ultimate upgrade and just go and
possible.
drive it.
I'll find
Like,
a
you
new route.
Yeah.
technically don't have to sit and tune it or set it up.
And some cars, you know, when you put on the
Although,
race,
I do find it
suspension,
funny when you buy racing suspension, it automatically puts the rear
Finding
camber
a
at
new
3.
route.
Yeah,
Make a
like,
U-turn.
I think in the front that's okay, but on the rear it's too much.
Yeah. Well, some of my okay, so if it's a lower horsepower car, I might run it around there. But I leave it on the 3 just to see how it feels, and then I adjust from there. But my fronts are always at 6. I don't know why. They just are.
Yeah, but more camber on the front gives you more contact while you're sideways, so I can understand.
Reroute.
But for me,
that, and I also run my toe all the way out in the front,
Turn right.
which is
for me,
also
when
with the
I
contact.
give the car more toe on the front, I like to run like 20,
Get ready to turn
15.
left.
And when I give
Okay.
the car too much toe on the
Turn
front, the way I look at front toe is how much control do you want over the car? Do you want the car to drive you, or do you want to drive the car?
Right.
Yeah. And so when I give the car too much control, I feel like the car is not going where I want it to. It's
Oh, that's true.
continuously drifting and adding more angle.
Get ready
And
to
so
turn left.
I
Turn left.
have maximum 20 on the front, and depending on power and how snappy it is on transitions, that's where I tweak the rear. And so the rear will be between 0.5 to 20. Some cars are 25 because they just snap out uncontrollably all the time. But I don't know if you noticed while we were drifting that I can,
Keep right. And then exit
how
right.
do I explain it? I can put the
Exit.
car where I want it to be.
Yeah.
I can be very precise. Like you said on Grand Valley, you're having a hard time connecting the tunnel section.
That's also mostly too when it gets like it's either gets really bright when you go to leave it, or really dark when you go to get inside of it, and I end up hitting that stupid curve on the side.
I'm not talking about the first tunnel.
Oh yeah.
You
I know
said
what
you
you're
had a
talking
hard
about now.
time connecting. One
Yeah.
thing is obviously, do you have the power to extend it? But that's where my toe settings come in. If I have more toe, I will drift more. But if I have less toe, the car just goes forward as long as I'm careful on the gas on the initiation, because if you initiate hard and you get a lot of angle, it's easy to lose the momentum. But if you initiate slowly, and obviously you do inside, outside, inside.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you start on the inside, push yourself towards the outside, keep the outside, and then go inside. It's like the opposite of or maybe not opposite, but like slow in, fast out.
Yeah. Oh, see, that's another big difference in CarX. It's like CarX, a lot of people end up drifting on the outside.
Mm-hmm.
And like on Gran Turismo, I end up hitting the inner clipping points quite often.
Yeah, but that's just.
And it's like
getting
my
used to
problem
what-
on Gran Turismo is I'm hitting the racing line while I'm drifting rather than hitting a drifting line. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but then again, it depends on what you want to do. Because if I'm in the lobby with wheel drifters, they go extremely wide, and that's hard for me. But when I'm drifting with my Norwegians, we're on the racing line all the time. And so what's happened is I'm learning the wide line, I'm learning the fast line, and what you get is what I do. You get in something in between. Like, I'll do the wide line where it's easy to do the wide line, but I will jump back to the inside to be able
Keep right,
to connect
and then
something.
exit right.
Right.
Exit right.
But then again, I am not really a good tuner on Gran Turismo. I've always said that I have a hard time tuning, but since I've played Gran Turismo
Turn
for
left.
very long, it's I drift with skills in the controller rather than me being able to tune good. But I'll always try myself to tune a car. Obviously, I have a good understanding of how.
I like
drifting
challenging myself too.
Yeah, I have a good understanding.
That's another
of
reason I
how-
like Gran Turismo. It gives me a challenge.
Yeah. Well, for me, Gran Turismo isn't a challenge anymore. Whatever I put my mind to, I can easily do it.
Yeah.
But the hard part and the fun part for me is when I get into a lobby and I meet good drifters and I'm chasing them and I'm doing good behind them and they compliment me for doing really good, and then it's like, okay, let's see how we do it opposite. Can I do a good line in front of him trying to stay on me? And that's when I get my emotions, because racing against people doesn't give me emotions anymore. It used to be like, oh, I'm so close to this guy. Oh, I need to brake really late to this corner to be able to beat him. But now it's like, I'll just brake late and see what happens. If I can't overtake, then there's a corner more. It doesn't bring emotions into me, but when I'm drifting and there's someone on my fucking door and literally pushing me, telling me, go faster, that's when I wake up. That's when I'm like, fuck yeah.
Right.
And I understand that when we are pushing the limits, half of the time there will be crashing. Half of the time someone will spin out. And so it's like, okay, here we go, fuck. Here we go, fuck. Here we go, fuck. Here we go. Oh shit, that was actually a good run.
Have
It's a
plenty of
lot
those moments.
more. Yeah, that's what keeps me playing the game, to be honest, because story mode completed everything. Every mission completed everything. Time trials, I can easily
Go
get
straight
gold on whatever it is, as long as I have the time to do it. I remember not long ago there was a Group 1 time trial at Le Mans. I tried for the
Go
final
straight
last
on,
hour
and then keep right.
because I had a silver, but I wanted a gold. And I was like,
Keep
fucking
right,
hell, I'm not
And
that
then
slow
continue straight on.
in this car. I have to
I've
get
done that
gold.
so many times.
Go straight on.
Yeah, but I only had an hour left before the time trial was over. And so the last hour, just pushing myself really, really hard to try and get the gold. And I couldn't. I got upset. And I'm glad that I got upset.
Put some fire in you.
Yeah? That's what competition is all about. Being beaten And then you're gonna remember next time Group 1 is in time trial, you're not gonna leave it at 1 hour left. You're gonna drive 20 hours to get that
Go
fucking goal.
straight on.
I'm a very competitive person, but sometimes I can be a sore loser. It depends. Like, if I'm really, really trying, it upsets me that I can't do. My goal for that time trial was to be in top 3 in my friends list because I was top 5 and a friend that I played a lot with was in 4th place and he was
Go straight
just
on.
under the gold limit. Like, he didn't get gold, but he was super close. And then I see one friend in the top. He's like super fast and on wheel, and I knew I'm never gonna beat him. But as long as I can be in 3rd place and get that gold, I'll be happy. And I didn't get it. And it did upset me. But the next day, I woke up and forgot about it.
I miss games doing that. Like, Burnout Paradise was one of those games for me. It was like I always had to beat somebody's score. Because every intersection had a different challenge, and it's like either the most damage caused or longest drift, or
Yeah.
highest speed, fastest time from this intersection to this intersection. They recorded everything.
And I've never been competitive at
Go straight on.
like games, and I never wanted to before Gran Turismo, because like, for example, I told you about Far Cry that I used to love that. That's a solo game. You don't play online. I never tried online on Far Cry. I never tried online on Far Cry 4 or 5. I knew there was online, but I just, why bother? I want to play the story mode over and over and over.
Yeah, I love the story modes.
Yeah. My first time playing online was in 2018 when I first
I downloaded Battlefield 4 just to play the campaign again.
My first time playing online with people, like at my own place. Obviously, I had friends who liked to play zombies when I was a kid, and we would jump in online lobbies and meet random people. But my first time playing online at my PlayStation with my internet, with my account,
Keep right.
was on GT6. And then they shut the servers down next week.
Yeah.
And when they shut the servers down, I was like, okay, I gotta grind to get myself a PS4, because now I have internet, so I can actually play online. I lived how many years? I lived 2 years without internet.
Damn.
Yeah, but I didn't need it. I only watched the television and I played Far Cry.
True.
But
Shit,
when I got a girlfriend, a little bit outside of the capital, her father was like an amateur race driver. He did like amateur sport. He had like a Ford Fiesta that was lightweight and on racing tires, and he would do like tight courses. But he showed me Gran Turismo 5, and Like, as soon as the game loaded in, I knew, okay, this is a good game. And then, dude, I'm in love.
Yep.
As soon as I floored it, I was like, exciting. The camera doesn't shake and everything is so nice and relaxed. And then when I came to the corner, started braking, I was like, why doesn't it brake? Come on, stop, pull the e-brake. Oh, it doesn't work like Need for Speed. You actually have to brake for 10 seconds and then take the corner.
Yeah.
I fell in love immediately, and I've never bought any other games.
Keep left.
I tried. I remember on PlayStation, I used to love Dirt 3.
I have Dirt Rally 2.0. That one's good too.
Yeah.
Very realistic.
Yeah. And I tried Dirt 4 and 5, but it was. If
That's
I tried them,
I feel like those are more arcadey.
Yeah, but Dirt 4, I could play it on the hardest difficulty and do runs without crashing. And then Dirt 4 came. Okay, the competition is a little bit harder. That's okay. Dirt 5, even harder. And then Dirt 2.0,
Keep left.
when I tried that on controller, I couldn't drive. I couldn't do anything.
Yeah, it's really hard. I'm not gonna lie. It's fun,
Yeah.
but it's difficult. The most
Well,
I've done is like races with friends.
Yeah, I'm considering getting, cause I don't own it now. I probably sold the disc or whatever. I don't remember. I just don't have it now. I want to try again because now I actually have a wheel with force feedback. Although it's not a lot of feedback, that little feedback, and you're able to control the pedal and gas pedal a lot easier. I think there's a better chance of me enjoying the game now. And I'm still not as quick on the wheel as I'm on the controller, but I'm very close. And I haven't spent a lot of time, which means that the wheels and pedals are actually very easy to when you go on controller, then you go on wheel, and it's easy to be fast already from the beginning.
Yep.
That just shows you the I don't know if it's because
straight on.
I've driven in real life and I know how it feels sliding a car in real life. I don't know if that
Finding a new route.
impacts the way I drive on the wheel, but the transition to wheel was so easy. I was so surprised. I was like, oh, I'm gonna spend months trying to catch up to myself
Turn
on
left.
controller, but
Yeah,
2 weeks.
transitioning to
Okay.
wheel
Let's find a new
over
route.
controller is a little easier than wheel back to controller.
I can
Yeah.
attest to this.
Go
I
straight
can't
on.
drift worth a fuck with a controller on CarX anymore because I've been on a wheel for 2 years.
Yeah.
Okay. What wheel do you have?
The Logitech G923.
G923. Yeah, I've tried that one. I sold it to my uncle. I didn't get to try it on Gran Turismo, but my uncle wanted to try Assetto Corsa, and I told him I have a spare wheel you can buy from me. And so I went to his place, hooked up the wheel, tried it on Assetto Corsa on PC, and it was okay, but I think I'm going to stick with Trustmaster. I've had 2 Trustmasters and 1 Logitech, the same as you. I just like that the Thrustmaster wheel itself, it's a lot simpler in the design. It seems like the Thrustmaster rim size is a little bit smaller than the Logitech ones.
It is.
And I don't like... I know that a bigger wheel gives you better rotation feedback, but I don't only drift on my wheel. I want to be able to race on it as well. And so I would prefer a mid-sized wheel and a simple